A last-gasp loss slams the door on World Cup history for the US of A, who now set its sights on a new European foe. Another World Cup match day is heading our way with the Congo and Uzbekistan in Group K. Collision course right here in Atlanta. And a World Cup homecoming for one player at Atlanta Stadium who got to live his dreams of representing Haiti after growing up on the pitch right here in Metro Atlanta. ANF Overtime Soccer starts now. Onwards and upwards for the Stars and Stripes, who shouldn't have any problems shrugging off last night's L. What's happening, everybody? Avery Braxton here with you. And tonight on ANF Overtime Soccer, the stakes just got a lot higher for the U.S. men's national team. The red, white, and blue losing at the death against Turkey in their Group D finale. A second-string U.S. team jumping to an early lead thanks to Austin Trusty, but it didn't last for very long. Arda Güler finally got his World Cup goal, helping the Crescent Stars to a 2-1 lead to end the first half. Sebastian Berhalter equalized early into the second 45, finished with an impressive goal and an assist, but Turkey got the last laugh after Kaan Ayhan stabbed home the final kick of the game. In the end, that game meant very little for the U.S. This is a look at the final Group D standings. The Stars and Stripes still win the group. Paraguay and Australia shared the points last night in a very uneventful 0-0 draw. That means the Socceroos clinch a spot in the round of 32, and the Paraguayans are almost certain to move on to the knockouts as a third-place team. Up next for the U.S. is Bosnia and Herzegovina in the round of 32. They finished third in Group B, which is Canada's group, another host nation. It's win or go home for the Stars and Stripes. Kickoff from San Francisco is on Wednesday, July 1st at 8 p.m. And joining us now to get us ready for that Bosnia matchup is Jessica Charman, commentator for MLS TV. Jessica, really appreciate your time. We've kind of known that it was going to be Bosnia for the U.S. here for a while, but now that it's official, what can we kind of expect in that matchup?
I think we're going to expect a team that is going to be all guns blazing. Bosnia and Herzegovina, a side that came in as an underdog and wrote their own script. That's been really the story of this World Cup. It's been the story of underdogs, teams that maybe have been written out before they entered the World Cup, showing what they can do. Bosnia are obviously a third-place seed, but I think they've been competitive in every single match that they played. Lost one, won one, drew one. They're going to keep the game close. They've got some electricity up top. They're going to challenge the U.S., but on paper, the U.S. is favorites. I don't know how that makes me feel because the United States are always better as an underdog, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. We always play better when we have a chip on our shoulder as Americans. That's pretty much in any sport. But they did take that loss to Turkey 3-2. Last-minute loss. Does that give you any kind of cause for concern for the U.S., or is that kind of a good reset button for them?
This was really interesting for me because I'm not Pochettino, and I don't claim to be Pochettino. I was a little surprised at first of just how many changes were made in that lineup, because on paper I was thinking momentum is going to be key. The more I read the quotes from Pochettino, he's talking about rest, which I completely understand. It's a quick turnaround, wanting to make sure they avoided injuries. And we did get an opportunity to see other players shine. The concern I had with this US was the drop-off between the starting 11 and then the backup 11 in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and quickly, you mentioned seeing a lot of those second teamers, and they didn't necessarily impress us as a whole, but was there anybody that stood out to you?
I mean, Sebastian Berhalter scored a lovely goal, but I think what he does on both sides of the ball defensively, he's a player that I've got to see in Major League Soccer, so maybe a little bit of bias there. But I think his work rate and his energy that he brings, the fact he's not afraid to get a little bit dirty and involved in these games. You need someone with a bit of chippiness. He got that yellow card early. It showed he has that character.
All right, Jessica, don't go anywhere. We'll talk to you in just a few more minutes, but appreciate you as we get ready to see the U.S. play Bosnia-Herzegovina here in just a few days. The star players have put on a show so far this World Cup, and today, two of them were set to clash in Group I, or at least that was the matchup on paper. Norway versus France, Erling Haaland versus Kylian Mbappe, marked on every soccer fan's calendar since these nations were drawn against each other back in December. Except Norway, having already qualified for the knockouts, elected to rest Haaland, and in the end, it was France's Ousmane Dembele who grabbed the spotlight, scoring a hat-trick in the 4-1 win over Norway. So let's check out our World Cup top scorers. Dembele moves into the top 5 after today's performance with 4 goals total. Mbappe and Haaland are still behind the GOAT in the race for the Golden Boot. Lionel Messi also having played one fewer game. We'll see him in action on Saturday night. And Vinny Jr. has stepped up for Brazil this tournament, also with 4 goals. Back here at home, we're getting ready for our final group stage match at Atlanta Stadium. But don't worry, World Cup in Atlanta isn't going anywhere. We still have 3 knockout matches coming to town starting Wednesday with the round of 32. But back to tomorrow, it's Uzbekistan versus the Congo, who can certainly take up a place in the knockout rounds with a win over the White Wolves. ANF Sports Director Bailey Burmaster previews the game in our latest match report.
Welcome into your match report, where we get you ready for all things 2026 FIFA World Cup. It is the 5th and final group stage game set to take Atlanta Stadium. Congo and Uzbekistan set to close out Group K. The White Wolves are actually based here in Atlanta and utilizing the Atlanta United training facilities. We had a first look at that before the games kicked off. This could prove a swing game in some capacity, as Portugal and Colombia are also in this group. The matchup is simple: Uzbekistan's organization versus Congo's transition speed. If Uzbekistan can limit turnovers, they can dictate. If Congo win the ball and run, they can flip the game fast. Either way, this one feels like a must-get-something night in Group K. Congo must win to advance. Next up, we will find out who will be featured in the round of 32 at Atlanta Stadium.
For Uzbekistan's head coach, this isn't his first taste of Atlanta. Fabio Cannavaro represented Italy in the 1996 Atlanta Olympics. Didn't actually play a game in Georgia, though. Instead, at Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama, the Italians were knocked out in the preliminary matches. Cannavaro would go on to win a World Cup with Italy 10 years later. Well, the World Cup isn't just about the teams on the field. It's also about celebrating these nations, their cultures off the field. And a big part of that is the food. Metro Atlanta certainly has the appetite. ANF Sports reporter Connor Hines visited a restaurant in Alpharetta serving all the classics from Uzbekistan.
All right, so our culinary World Cup voyage begins right here in Alpharetta at Logman Express. And I'm not going to lie, look at all this. It is going to be tough to beat these guys. Logman Express, it's an authentic Uzbek restaurant right here in the Metro Atlanta area. Check out what we've got over here. We've got a samsa, which is a traditional pastry with some beef. We've got a shawarma situation here with some lamb and rice, a little bit of everything that the good folks here at Logman Express have hooked us up with. But I want to focus on this right here. It's called the Logman, so I had to get it, knowing that it's the namesake of the restaurant. We've got some hand-pulled noodles, some meat on top, a little bit of a veggie sauce there. I ordered this because Google told me it was the dish with the boldest flavors, got a little bit of a tangy sauce there, kind of just how the Uzbek national team has boldly entered a new era, qualifying for the World Cup for the very first time. Pretty incredible story here, as Uzbekistan is one of Asia's strongest teams to never appear in a World Cup, that is, until this summer, reaching the finals of Asia's qualifying tournament. These guys are also nicknamed the White Wolves, which might just be the coolest nickname for any team out there. Uzbekistan entering some uncharted territory this summer here in Atlanta, and I think my taste buds are about to enter some uncharted territory here, but it looks really good, so let's give it a go here. Beef is so tender. Look at these noodles. You got thick, they tell me they're hand-pulled noodles here at Logman Express, and the sauce is definitely bold and tangy, so I think this was a good pick. Uzbekistan, no doubt one of the best stories of this summer's World Cup, and I'm not gonna lie, this beef Logman right here, maybe one of the best things I've tried up to this point in Atlanta. Here in Alpharetta, I'm Connor Hines, Atlanta News First.
And that looked good. Today marks day 16 of the World Cup, and it has been all hands on deck to also secure the globe's largest sporting event. Score Atlanta's Landon Knight joins me in studio. Landon, federal crews are working around the clock to keep the public safe right now.
Avery, we're talking about tedious and tireless efforts by authorities to monitor every item before it gets inside Atlanta Stadium. Before you can swig a soda or taste a beer inside the stadium, every truckload must be checked for anything illegal or hazardous. U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers are conducting x-rays on every truck, and K-9 units are patrolling vehicles and drivers for weapons. They've already found 2 weapons and 900 trucks inspected since the start of the global tournament.
If we're looking for a handgun, we're going to find it. If we're looking for something bigger, we're going to find that as well. We're really focused on keeping everybody safe. That is the priority, that is our mission, and that is what we're going to hold true to while we're here on the ground here in Atlanta.
There are also protections in the air. FBI Atlanta says it has seized 60 drones flying in the no-fly zone that is still in effect downtown for every fan festival and match day.
Landon, I want to get your thoughts on a new World Cup record as we take a live look over the FIFA Fan Festival in Centennial Olympic Park. Yesterday, the 2026 FIFA World Cup became the most attended World Cup in history. We still have 42 matches to go. What do you think about the response that Atlanta's had?
Well, Avery, what I do know is that Atlanta fans are showing out. Even for the fans who have not been able to attend Atlanta Stadium, they have been able to attend FIFA Fan Festival at Centennial Olympic Park. And I know that it was popping for that Morocco-Haiti match. And hey, I might find myself there sometime this weekend. You never know.
You're absolutely right. We're talking about 270,000 of 3.6 million fans and counting that have been enjoying the matches inside Atlanta Stadium. And who knows how many over there at FIFA Fan Fest as well. Landon, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. Playing in a World Cup is a dream of every young soccer player, and it's a dream for some on Atlanta United's roster as well. Coming up, you can meet the homegrowns who have already gotten a small taste of the world's greatest tournament.
You're watching Overtime on Atlanta News First.
The Blank family and AMBSE introduced their new president of soccer this week. Mauricio Culebro will oversee both Atlanta United and the soon-to-come NWSL team in 2028. He'll also be United's liaison with the U.S. Soccer Federation. It's part of Arthur M. Blank Sports and Entertainment's goal to bring Atlanta United back to prominence and make Atlanta the epicenter of soccer in the States. Atlanta United has 8 homegrown players on the first-team roster, 2 of which have tasted the World Cup experience on the youth level. ANF Sports reporter Kinsey Lee tells us how it drives them to pursue the greatest show on Earth's grandest stage one day.
I think it's something that'll, stay with me till the day I die.
Honestly, it was a dream come true.
In 2025, Atlanta United homegrown players Luke Brennan and Cooper Sanchez were each called up to represent the United States on a Youth World Cup roster. Sanchez signed a first-team contract with the team on August 5th in 2025. Then 3 months later, represented the U.S. in the U17 World Cup in Qatar, where his side reached the round of 16.
I'm never going to forget any of it. It was a long preparation. Started from U16 for 2 years of camps, 2 years of preparation, going to different countries, playing different countries. What an experience.
And at just 17 years old, this year, Sanchez became the youngest player in Atlanta United history to start a season opener.
I actually didn't even know that I was going to get that accolade from the last game against Cincinnati. So no, I'm grateful for the opportunity that everyone has given me at this club to be able to get those accolades. But that's only the start for me.
Brennan's contract with the team took effect at the beginning of 2024. A year later, he was named to the U.S. roster for the U20 World Cup in Chile, where he made 4 appearances and tallied 2 assists, helping the United States win its group and advance to the quarterfinals.
To play in a World Cup was, I've dreamed of it as a kid, whether that's a U20 or the real World Cup. So it was definitely a good stepping stone, and it was a great experience.
No Atlanta United homegrown player has ever played in the World Cup, but Sanchez and Brennan hope to change that someday.
Obviously, seeing at the youth level and seeing the fans for their countries and seeing our fans, our family supporting us is a no better feeling. There's no better feeling in this world. I mean, that pushes me every day to want to be on the men's national team and play and represent my country at a World Cup.
I still have something to prove for sure, but I believe that I'll get there one day. Hopefully become a big player for America, which is my end goal.
Kinsey Lee, Atlanta News First.
Group H back in action tonight, and there's everything to play for. Spain has a difficult task ahead against Uruguay and Mexico. And in Houston, will Cape Verde keep the fairy tale alive, or will Saudi Arabia spoil the dream with a place in the round of 32 at stake? Both games kick off soon tonight at 8 o'clock. Jessica Charman joins us once again. We are now looking ahead to what's to come, as we've already seen every team's group stage. Has there been a country that you kind of have your eyes on as we move into the knockout rounds?
There's been a couple of countries. I think first, France, who have been electrifying, scoring goals for fun. Anyone that has Kylian Mbappe in their front line is always going to be dangerous. A player I love on that squad, though, is Michael Olise. I think sometimes he doesn't get enough credit because Mbappe is the star. Brazil has impressed me. There are a lot of question marks around Brazil based on their qualifying. They were struggling. They got their new manager in, but they have done really well ever since a disappointing result in their first game of group stages. And then Norway as well. I think Norway is one of those dark horses.
Have there been anybody who was kind of lesser known coming into this tournament that has kind of made a name for themselves in your mind?
Man, firstly, just the small teams in general. There's a lot of talk going into this World Cup about the expansion, right? You go to 48 teams and there's concerns about, are these small nations going to be able to hold up? Vozina was an absolute star, the goalkeeper. I know he's gone viral on social media, and rightly so. Eloy Room, who's the goalkeeper for Curaçao, who plays in the USL in Miami, was fantastic. And I think Alex Freeman of the United States of America is an amazing story as well. He scored a goal in the US's second game against Australia. I'm
going to give you your chance to talk about England now. It looked like here in Atlanta, we're going to get them in the round of 32. How big is that for the ATL?
Oh, it's massive because, let's be honest, England is one of those well-known sides with big-name players. If England tops the group, they'll play a third-place team. These third-place teams are coming in with a chip on their shoulder, wanting to prove a point against the big nations. It's going to be an amazing crowd, but I wouldn't write off an opportunity for an upset there in Atlanta. And I'll say, the images I've seen, the opportunities at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, the atmosphere has been amazing. And I'm just proud to live in this great city because of just how well we've brought the community together to support the World Cup.
So much football left to play. Jessica Charman for MLS TV. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
On Wednesday, we saw Haiti and Morocco duke it out at Atlanta Stadium, and there was one player on the pitch that has a very special connection to the A. That story next. On the pitch, it was Morocco who rallied to victory Wednesday night, slipping past Haiti in Atlanta's fourth ever World Cup match. Haiti playing for pride despite already being eliminated from the World Cup, and they left their mark on Atlanta, taking the lead twice on Morocco, who is FIFA's 11th ranked team, by the way, and the declared champions of Africa. But in the end, the Atlas Lions were too much for the Caribbean nation. Morocco scores 2 late goals in a 4-2 win over the Haitians, securing a spot in the round of 32. Haiti's visit to Atlanta also marked a homecoming for one of the best soccer players to ever come out of the A. Atlanta News First sports reporter Connor Hines caught up with right winger Lucius Deedson ahead of that match on Wednesday.
At the World Cup, it's about playing for your flag. For Lucius Deedson, he's got 2.
Leaving Haiti to come to Atlanta was the hope for me to get a better education and also to hopefully I can make better of my career. I think that happened really good for me because when I came, I had good people in my life.
People like Bruno Kalanji.
That was one of his ultimate dreams, was to play in the World Cup.
Founder of Kalanji Soccer Academy in Norcross and the coach who made Deedson the player he is today.
I used to tease him. I was like, Deedson, you're going to play in the World Cup for the U.S., for sure not for Haiti, because no one thought that Haiti would qualify.
Haiti qualified all right for the first time in 52 years, helping them get there in the final against Nicaragua.
It can open up for the shot, and there's the goal! There is the goal!
And helping a country defined by violence and political unrest to be defined by something else.
Those are times that make people recognize Haiti, you know, because right now a lot of bad things are going back home. So when we achieve things like this, then more people talk about Haiti the good way.
He's always thinking how he can help his country. He was very proud of it. Right before the game, Brazil game, he sent me a video of kids playing in Haiti with barefooted in Haiti. He's like, Coach, this is the team that I'm building in Haiti.
Because of the turmoil, Haiti hasn't played a true home match in more than 5 years. But if you can't play at home, your second home isn't a bad backup. On Wednesday, Deedson returns.
What a coincidence, right? He ended up back in Atlanta here.
So it's pretty amazing feeling to know that I'll be able to go home. Well, I call it home also because I lived there for a long time, to go play back home where I started my career in the U.S. So I was very happy about it.
The teenager who moved to America to pursue soccer, now doing it on the biggest stage, back where it all began.
A lot of feelings, man, and I know there's a lot of people coming to watch Deedson. A lot of people are well connected and knew Deedson. It's an incredible feeling. It should be an incredible feeling for Atlanta.
But just as important for Atlanta's next generation of Deedsons to see what's possible.
It's not just about the accomplishment that Deedson has, but it's about how many more lives it will impact. I'm talking about player hoping and pursuing a dream that will give them stability for life.
And not one, but two different nations filled with pride on Wednesday night. In Norcross, Connor Hines, Atlanta News First.
Meet Michel Kuka, the Congo superfan who stands like a statue all game. His 90-minute-long gesture is a tribute to the country's first prime minister. He got a trip to the United States for the World Cup and is expected to be at tomorrow's match at Atlanta Stadium. That'll do it for ANF Overtime Soccer. Enjoy your soccer weekend. Have a great night.